Hello friends, welcome to the online class on regulation of gene expression. This topic is of BSc Semester 4, Paper 2, Unit number 4. Dear friends, today we will discuss regulation of gene expression, especially in prokaryotes. To understand that, first of all, we should know what is gene expression. As you all very well aware about gene, that is sequence of nucleotides or segment of DNA which is able to produce a meaningful protein, and expression of gene means synthesis of protein from DNA through intermediate mRNA through intermediate mRNA. Now come to regulation. Regulation means control, that is, when protein is required, gene expression should be switched on, and when protein is not required, gene expression should be switched off. Sometimes protein production can be increased or decreased as per the requirement of cell. This regulation can be done at various levels or stages, like transcriptional level, at post-transcriptional level, or at translational level. We are not going into that detail, but here, in case of prokaryotes, regulation of gene expression is carried out at transcription level. Now, come to the types of gene regulation. There are two types of gene regulation. One is positive regulation and another is negative regulation. Positive regulation means when expression is started or increased by the presence of some regulatory molecule, such element is called activator. And negative regulation means when expression is stopped or decreased due to presence of some regulatory molecule, such molecule is called repressor. Now come to the operon. What is operon? Operon is a unit of few structural genes which are regulated by single regulatory unit. This concept was first time given by Jacob and Monod in 1961. Lac operon. The word lac stands for lactose, which is a carbohydrate and disaccharide type of carbohydrate made up of glucose and galactose. And lac operon consists of genes involved in lactose metabolism. This lac operon is a negatively regulated inducible operon, as it is regulated by repressor protein and lactose as a inducer. Now see, this is a actual lac operon model. Here you will see a strand of DNA having two genes. One part is yellow in color. This region contains three genes: gene Z, gene Y, and gene A. These are structural genes, produces protein required for lactose metabolism. Y, the second part, is non-yellow in color. This part is a regulator region. In this, you will find three types of sequences, that is P strand, which means promoter sequence, O strand, which means operator sequence, and I region, which is a gene which produces repressor protein. Here we will find different genes and sequences, their products and enzymes. Here we will understand what are the actual product of these sequences of genes and their functions. As there are three structural genes in lac operon, lac Z produces beta-galactosidase enzyme which breaks lactose into glucose and galactose. Lac Y produces beta-galactosidase permease enzyme which is involved in the lactose transport in E. coli. And lac A which produces beta-galactoside transacetylase. Function of this protein is not still fully known in the lactose metabolism. Expression of all these structural genes are regulated by regulator in sequences. These are operator sequence or site, which is a binding site for repressor. Promoter sequence or site is a binding site for RNA polymerase enzyme, which is involved in transcription. Then regulator gene I. This sequence produces repressor protein which binds to the operator and blocks the progress of RNA polymerase. Now, at last, how this lac operon works, that is the functioning of lac operon. In the first condition, when lactose as an inducer is absent in E. coli, lactose as an inducer is absent in the E. coli, the regulator gene I produces a repressor protein and binds on the operator site and prevent the transcription. As a result, structural genes do not produce mRNA and ultimately enzyme for the lactose breakdown are also not produced. Here, in this diagram, you can easily understand how this regulator gene I produces this repressor protein. This repressor protein bind on this operator site and block the binding of RNA polymerase on the promoter site, and then this RNA polymerase could not transcribe this structural genes. This condition occurs when the lactose is absent. In the second condition, when lactose as an inducer is present in E. coli, it binds to the repressor protein and hence repressor protein not able to bind on the operator. Therefore, operator site remain open and allow RNA polymerase to bind on the promoter and transcribe all the structural genes. Here, in this diagram, you can easily understand how this regulator gene produces the repressor which binds with the lactose enzyme. Lactose is the inducer here, and due to binding of the lactose, the conformation of this repressor protein gets changed and it cannot bind on the operator site, and therefore RNA polymer in this operator site remain open and RNA polymerase bind on the promoter, and then it ultimately transcribes this structural genes and produces the mRNA, which get ultimately produce the enzymes for lactose metabolism. This condition occurs when the lactose is present in the E. coli. Here, from this example, we can easily understand how gene expression can be regulated as in lac operon. Whenever lactose is present, gene expression gets switched on, enzyme get produced for the breakdown, and whenever lactose is absent, gene expression gets switched on and enzymes do not produce for the breakdown of lactose. Thank you very much. I hope you must have understood this topic.